Welcome to another episode of Odd Pairing. I am your host, Natasha, and today we're doing something a little different. You probably noticed that this is not Paige. This is not Paige at all. This is my lovely husband, Armando. Armando, welcome to the show. It's my
Hi,
co-host.
hey everybody. I'm glad to finally made it here. Sometimes I hang out in the green room and I'll just see you guys enjoy yourselves. And I was always jealous of Paige because it could have been me up here. I'm glad she's gone. I think she had an accident or something. So
Knock it off.
I'm just kidding. She's on vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
No, Paige is working. She's out here making this money. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why she's not here on today. And we have you as my co-host. But with that, this episode today is going to be a little bit different because we're going to be talking about, you guys have heard us talk about a little bit about like how there are other ways of like, if you are at a party and you drinking or whatever, there's other ways that you can enjoy without just going straight to water. Correct?
Yeah. I mean, I always go when we go to a party, I go get you a drink. And if I see a espresso machine or I see a coffee machine, I make sure the host of the house gives me some coffee. Or I go get like an energy drink before that. But yeah, definitely water is not the move, you know? Yeah. My go-to is coffee.
People need to hydrate though.
I mean,
water's not the move.
It's because I need it, you know, but coffee is my religion. So I'm glad that I'm here. We're going to kick it off with this conspiracy theory where Jesus didn't turn wine into water. And He actually turned water into coffee. And I'm always going to be like, Joe Rogan, hit me up. Because he might know about it.
What?
Speaking of guests, can I introduce them?
Yeah, you can actually.
So today we have this lovely couple. They lived in LA. Now they move here. And they brought this whole vibe in this coffee company called Surje Company. They're a young company. They started in 2020 during the lockdown and whatnot. You know, most of us got our entrepreneurship thing going on, and they basically transformed their passion into their business. And now they're making a killer. And they have a lot of variety of products. They do their own roasting. They provide resources and materials for people who want to roast at home. You know, you've heard of people trying to do their own kombucha and whatnot. Some people that are interested in developing their skills and coffee making and whatnot. I'm very glad that they're here. Also, they got me this awesome hat. This hot hat. This is vegan suede. This vegan suede got me swagging. You know what I mean? Their coffee smells amazing. And yeah, well, without any more preamble, let's give it up for Surje guys. Yeah! Surje, I forgot their names. Oh, shit, right? We know, yeah.
So to bring it to light, we have Valerie.
Do that introduction.
I know.
I didn't even, prep him to do that. Right? Obviously. Have you had some coffee before? Because you hype. So welcome Valerie and Christopher.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
We're so happy to be here. I'm super excited.
Yeah. So a little bit of the reason why I had you guys to come on, because like I said, we're an alcohol mainly podcast, right? And we love to drink on here, okay? Trust me. If you guys have seen any episodes, me and Paige be drinking. All right. And so, right. So, and we've been talking about lately, kind of how to do the healthier way of drinking. And it's not all about just kind of pounding them back and having a good time and like all of these things, right? And so I've mentioned a couple of times on the episode as well as in our household, he's the non-drinker and I'm the drinker. And a lot of people like, how does that even go? I'm like, just think about it. I got a free DD. What I'm saying is I get drunk at all the parties, okay? So with that, we've created this kind of just dynamic that we're able to just care for each other in that space. So you would think a lot of times that when someone does drink the alcohol, they're like not worried about, you're not drinking any alcohol? What's wrong with you? So most of the time I know, because I know he doesn't drink, and he doesn't drink for his own reasons. If you want to share that, you can. But he doesn't drink for his own reasons. And so with that, I always look, when I'm at parties, I'm always more conscious about like, what do you guys have besides alcohol? Because my husband doesn't drink. Yeah. So what is it that you guys have? And so what I thought with him being an avid coffee lover, and when I tell you avid, when we first got together, this man had a French press, and I said, "What is happening here? I've never like." He was in there just lightly pressing it, and I mean, it was a mess. Okay, and me, I'm just like, just put that in the Keurig and let's keep it going. But for him, he's like,
I feel it. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Now,
if you drink coffee on a Keurig, that's not the move, please.
It is not. It is
stop.
Not.
Those Keurig cups have like a lot of conservatives. They don't smell like anything. They don't taste like anything.
Yeah, he says it tastes like water.
Definitely go for local roasters, which is what we have been doing for over the last few months. I stopped giving Starbucks my money. And especially your guys' coffee smells so good right now. We have an open bag right now, and I farted like a couple times, and nobody has mentioned anything about the smell. So yeah, it's great. Yeah.
This is well.
This is last time on the show.
Another reason to have coffee.
We just thought of a new product, Surje Coffee Air Freshener. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna put a bunch of coffee beans in the back of my underwear, and then filter that.
Good God. Well, yeah, I guess.
Say K-cup again. For real.
So yeah, you know, with us having this dynamic, I thought that it would be great because when I showed him, because when I met you at a woman thing in down in San Diego, and so
wait, what women?
It's where we go in and we bash men all day. No, I'm just kidding. It's a women empowerment type of. Jessica has this. Like, what is it called?
Femix for female entrepreneurs. Yeah.
That's
so
what it
was
is.
essentially like a mastermind for all of us to work on our businesses.
Mm-hmm. And so I would go to that on Mondays, every other Monday. And I started meeting all of these like really great women. And when I met her, I was like, oh, okay. She's Mexican and she got coffee going on. I think I know a guy. And so
Mexican doesn't make tequila.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So when I thought about like having this episode and talking about just community, because I saw a lot of what you guys doing and like the community aspect of it and how you guys are bringing that together, and we'll talk about that, and just thinking about other avenues that people can do, and what you guys are going to show us today too, in terms of like mocktails with coffee is going to be great for those people who can still have it in a glass, but they don't have to be drinking alcohol at the party, and they can stay up.
Yes, it'll keep you awake for sure.
Exactly.
And it tastes good.
Yeah. So let's first get something going so we can sip as we talk, and we'll kind of get into you guys' history.
yeah.
So what we got going first?
Start with the cold brew.
We can start with the cold brew,
Which is my fan favorite.
So this is actually, you want to explain the drink?
Yeah, so this first drink is our take on an old fashioned. It's one of my favorite cocktails. So we call it the cold brew fashion. We use our cold brew. We do use some bitters and the syrup that we use.
Orgeat.
Syrup. So we pour it over ice, we shake it, and this has actually been our most popular coffee mocktail so far.
Okay.
Magic
And
of television.
what was that? The syrup you said?
It's called Creole Orgeat. And we get all of our syrups from a local in San Diego in North Park, Collins and Croup Bar Supplies. They're super cool. The owners are cool. So what we do is we'll usually go there and we sit down and we kind of have an idea of the kind of drinks we want to make. And then they'll like give us like a spread, like a charcuterie of syrups and bitters, and we will mix and match and taste them until we create a flavor profile that is the drink that we're trying to make. And then we make a little fun game out of the family to try to name the drink.
Yeah.
It smells really good.
Yeah.
I definitely my go-to is black coffee. You know, like I like to say I like my coffee like my soul. But definitely like I can see a lot of this is the creme. Would you like to tell us about this little foam layer right here, Christopher?
Yeah, so there's no dairy or anything like that. We are a dairy-free company. There's no milk in this drink, so all you're getting there is just the cold brew shaken over ice. And then the cold brew, we use our Brazil roast. It is our medium dark roast. We brew it for about 48 hours, so that's 2 days of brewing right there. And that crema that you see on the top is what is kind of like, not always, but it can be a tell of the quality of the coffee and whether or not it was brewed well.
Yeah. For this one, the cold brew, because it's shaken with the syrup, it gives it that nice foam. You can get the same thing if you're doing just espresso and syrup, kind of like a shakerato, and you just shake it with the sugar, and it gives you this beautiful, delicious foam on it.
Oh, yeah.
Now I want to take it back a couple steps. You mentioned this is medium roast from Brazil. So can we talk about the roasts that we have? A typical light roast, medium roast, and dark roast. Also, I would like to, have us educated a little more about the roast and what does it mean? Like what does it mean dark roast and whatnot? Take us through there.
Let me shake up this one so we can get a second drink going. This is our Passionate Kiss. So this is a milk-based drink.
Oh, wow. Passionate Kiss, I like that.
I'm not a bartender, so I don't know if I'm shaking it good. But
You fooled me.
Shake it till it feels good.
Right, you fooled me.
Yeah, so coffee comes in different roast levels.
Okay.
Basically, that means I like to use steak as example. So like a light roast would be like your rare, and then your medium roast would be like your medium, and then your darker roasts are closer to your well done. Most coffee that people drink, Keurig's, Starbucks, are on the darker side. Commercial coffee, even if it's marketed as a medium roast or a light roast, is still really dark. You have your French roast, which is the darkest, right before it burns. It's a well done steak.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and what that does is it gives you that bitterness in the coffee that we've all associate with coffee. It also increases the shelf life, typically to roast it darker. But roasting a medium or a lighter roast is a lot harder to do. And once you start, so whenever you're roasting, you have the coffee bean will crack when it's ready. So whenever the coffee bean, it's like popcorn. So you throw it in there like popcorn kernels, and then it'll start to pop. And then you really have a minute to 2 minutes to stop the roast. So you want to pull it out before it starts to get to that French roast part. And that's where all the magic happens, is within those 2 minutes. So the typical roast takes between 10 to 15 minutes. But then somewhere in there, you're trying to capture the best possible flavor you can of the coffee. And that's when you start to, so traditionally you get like nutty flavors, bitter flavors, cocoa, chocolate, toffee. But when you have medium roast, that is quote unquote a higher quality coffee roast, now you start to get your florals, your fruits, your citrus.
This is like wine.
Yes,
Exactly.
it is. Exactly like wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why we ended up down this road, is because like there's just so much creativity in coffee. Like two separate roasters can get the same bean and make completely different coffees. And it's all depending on how you approach the coffee, how you roast it, at what temperatures, when you're changing things, when you pull it out for when it's done, like all of it. And so for us, like having this nuance of the flavors of the coffee is really cool. But then also having, the mocktails is our, like, we love doing mocktails. That's our favorite thing.
Yeah, and when we designed these drinks, we tried to...
What can I add with this? for
that
the
one,
alcoholics.
probably like a rum or a tequila.
Probably tequila in that one. Probably like a whiskey in that one, tequila or a mezcal in that one would be good.
Yeah. If you want a little bit sweeter, maybe like a sugarcane alcohol, like a aguardiente or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real good.
Right.
Definitely. So who came up with the ideas for the drinks and the cocktails that you guys serve? Who's the creative side of the organization?
Actually,
babe.
before we get into that, I want to know a little bit about the history, like
Okay.
where you guys were, what made you go, you know what? Let's do coffee. I need to know like how all of that came about.
Yeah, we first met in LA. We met on an app, and
Coffee
did
meets
too.
bagel.
You guys, you did? Yeah.
Nice.
Tinder.
We met on Tinder.
Very nice.
This is the longest one night stand I've ever had.
I mean that's what Tinder was for,
Right. Exactly.
Caffeine's putting in work.
I know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We on our first day we went to a park and we had coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee brings people together, and
Yes.
Tinder is
Yeah.
helping bring
Another
down
thing, it brings people together
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, so going back to your story,
Yeah.
you guys are established your business in 2020. So obviously there was something going on there in 2020, am I right? So take us through that journey and like the adversity and then how you still keep pushing through. I personally tried to start a business during lockdown and I just like, nah, I'm over it.
It's hard.
But yeah.
It's so hard. Yeah, because we kind of had the idea from like the very get-go, because when we first met, it was very much like dating for adults. It was like, all right, I'm done dating just to
Yes.
date. Like I'm trying to find my lifelong partner. I don't want to date anymore. And it was very much like, all right, what are you into? What's your goals? Like, what's your dreams? What do you want to do? And for both of us, it was like, oh, well, one day we want to have a coffee shop. And we kind of just like left it at that.
Yeah.
Never really did anything about it. And then we continued dating. And then we moved down here to San Diego, and we kind of had like some ideas before COVID hit. We're like, oh, maybe we should really start doing this, because I was fed up with my corporate job and I just didn't want to do it anymore. Like I worked in a small family business basically my entire life. And so going from that to corporate world, like sucked.
Yeah.
I hate corporate world.
Yeah.
So that was really the thing. The catalyst was we wanted something of our own, to be our own bosses.
Good.
Yeah, and we were like, well, heck, we both love coffee. Why not try it? So yeah, we did the business plan in his living room apartment. And
We came up with the name first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Surje, it's a play on words. So Surje in Armenian means coffee.
Oh.
So it's like the coffee company. You know.
Yeah.
So and then we're like, well, Surje, that's kind of hard for people to pronounce. Why don't we just say Surge and spell it with a J and
Right.
you know, and yeah.
yeah, because there's no like translations, and then there's no real like alphabet when you're going from Armenian to
Yes.
English. Like it's completely different.
Yeah.
So we're like, what can we do that is going to work in the United States that people can pronounce and that will still give us kind of that cultural representation?
Right.
Yeah, because our backgrounds is he's Armenian and I'm Mexican, and so we wanted to infuse it in all of our branding. So like the colors are the colors of the flag of Armenian flag and Mexican flag. The name Surje Coffee. Our tagline is Café para la gente, so coffee for the people. So like right as soon as you approach us, it's like, this is a Mexican Armenian company. Welcome.
Yeah, the we call him the hipster dude.
Yeah.
You know, hipster culture has
that logo,
influenced.
yeah.
It's
Thank
influenced
you.
a lot of like modern day coffee for us. Like coffee was a big part of my family. In the Middle East, they drink coffee all the time,
they
morning, day, and night.
Yeah, they do.
You know, you walk in. You know, it's just how you.
I lived over there for a while. Yeah, they do. Sweating and people drinking coffee.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what is going on here?
Yep, and it's
You
always
guys don't
hot,
want-
never iced.
Never.
Yeah.
Never iced.
Never.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely coffee for me is personally I really enjoy myself having a sip of coffee on a morning, reading a book and whatnot, and now it also helps me spend quality time with other people as well. Get you going, that conversation going. And some people, I ask them if they drink coffee, and then they give too much information, saying, "Oh, it runs through me." And coffee is always a good conversation starter, and a good conversation piece and whatnot. And I want to go back a little bit about the roastings, because I'm personally interested in the product. You mentioned that you guys have Brazilian roast, which is a medium roast. Typically, what you see the most on the shelves in the stores is Arabica coffee.
Yes.
Coffee from like the Middle East that are like in super hot temperatures and environments. So Brazil has a little more tropical, so hence the fruity and floral flavors. So what other kind of beans do you guys have?
Yeah, so we have our Brazil, which is our medium dark roast. So our spectrum goes medium, medium dark, and dark. We have Ethiopia. That's our dark roast. And even though it's our dark roast, our darkest roast is still lighter than Starbucks's lightest roast. So that
Their
to give you an
blonde roast.
idea.
Their blonde roast is actually very, very dark.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then our medium roast, which is our lightest, is Guatemala.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the whole like the light, medium, dark, all of that is actually really subjective. So it'll vary from like one coffee shop to the next because they'll just like, oh, well, this is a light roast for us. So there's no real like distinguish between what is light versus medium. I mean, specialty coffee has like their own terms, like what's it? I'm blanking. Full City and all of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll have like City, Full City, City Plus, and those are like just to reference the color palette. So they have like these charts and stuff that you can kind of look at, see where your bean's at, but it is subjective.
Yeah, the temperatures that you pull it at, like there's it's like baking. There's a whole science behind it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a fun one to dive into when we
bet
first
it was.
started.
Yeah. I mean, everything that you kind of do or start or whatever is always you start getting to the technical piece of it.
Yes.
Sometimes you like, I didn't ask for all of
Yeah,
this.
going back to when we first started, we burned a lot of coffee.
Oh my gosh, we
threw
burned
pounds
coffee, we
and
under
pounds.
roasted coffee.
We were
Like,
drinking under roasted coffee and we had no idea.
Yeah.
We're like, we think this is good. Maybe.
Not really. Just like,
Yeah.
well, this
By the
passed
way,
me.
for those first like group of people that bought coffee from us, we're so sorry.
Okay, I would just like to point out that later, because we still felt so bad about it, we sent them free coffee because I was like, all right, who has not ordered from us that ordered from us in the very beginning?
Yeah.
Like, let me send them a coffee and be like, I'm so sorry we put you through that.
And it was still good because we were drinking it and we would never sell anything we didn't like.
Yes,
We always taste
yes.
everything.
Yeah.
We have to love it before we like sell it to somebody. But we have made progress, and looking back, it's
Yeah.
always like that. You're like, oh man, I can't
It's
believe.
always like that though, especially when you kind of first start and you guys were starting during the pandemic, so there probably wasn't a lot of places you could just step into and be like, let's all do this together.
Right.
You were literally doing it at home and trying to figure it out. So that makes sense and good for you for like reaching back out and being like, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me give you this new bag.
Yeah.
Try this out.
It's all an experience. Like, I love what you said. Like, coffee brings people together. It's an experience. Our mission statement is actually to cultivate memorable experiences in an environment that welcomes all people.
Yeah.
So we love experiences, whether when we go to bars, speakeasies, like we just love the culture of the experience. And then coffee is just our vehicle because we love it so much to curate those experiences. And that's kind of how the mocktails were born, because of that.
Yeah. And because, I mean, we love craft cocktails. We love drinking too. And so it's like, and we were doing a lot of it in the pandemic, like a lot. I'm probably too ashamed to admit it, how much it was. But that,
Gotta get high on your own supply.
I know. I mean, it was just so good. Like, what else am I going to do? Trapped inside my apartment. Drink, obviously.
Right.
So that was like what translated into this. It was like, how do we make something different that maybe doesn't have the alcohol, but we can have kind of the same vibe and the same feels of it.
Right.
So that was where, coffee mocktails. It's just fun for us to play bartender.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Did you have any more roasting questions? Because you're really on this roast.
I was gonna ask for asking for a friend. What do you need to start roasting your own beans at home?
So we started with a little tiny kitchen roaster that we got from Amazon.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It's like a popcorn type roaster thing, like a little pot. It's really nothing special. Maybe $60 to get started.
Yeah, and then they have other ones that are like a couple $100 if you want something that's a little bit more designed better. But it depends. But yeah, you could start like that, and then you can just they have there's importers online that sell like green beans, which is the bean before it's roasted. It's the seed of the coffee cherry. That's how you start. You just throw it in there, turn it on, and watch it get darker and darker and darker, and hope for the best. Just have a plan for the byproducts, because coffee has a byproduct. It's like the shell of it. It comes they come off, and it can get very messy. So just prepare for that mess. And you're dehydrating it, so you're gonna have a lot of steam also, because there's a lot of moisture in the bean.
Is there any use for the leftover, like the shell of the coffee bean, or anything that you guys do with it, or what do you do with your waste on your end?
We mostly put it in the compost bin.
That's great.
Yeah, I know.
Our bags are compostable also.
Our coffee bags are compostable. That was one of the things. We really wanted to have more of an eco-friendly approach. And so for us, it was like, how do we do this in a way that does the least amount of damage?
But you can use it as fertilizer too. Like you can put it in like your plants.
In gardens.
Put it in your plants. Mix your used coffee grounds or the coffee shafts with the dirt. And
you can make, like, some people do make the cascara tea. I mean, the cascara, I don't know what in English, the shell, So you can make tea of it. I don't know if it's caffeinated. I'd have to look, because I'm actually not really familiar with that. But that's like the new thing too. But we don't dive into that.
We haven't ventured.
We're sticking to coffee. Exactly.
Right, y'all, like, I just got the roasting down.
What would you guys like to venture on? Like, what do you see in the future for Surje Coffee? Are you guys planning on opening more locations, or expanding your brand, or what do you guys are proposing for the future, and what do you guys see ahead?
Definitely take over the world.
That's right. One cup of coffee at a time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We do want multiple coffee locations. Hopefully we'll have one this year. But we do want to have the set locations. We also do mobile catering, and we want to continue to do that because it's fun going to people's parties. Their baby showers, birthday parties, weddings, things like that. Like, it's just a fun environment. Everyone is so happy. And you
gotta get hype.
It's the great place to have coffee there. So we definitely want to continue doing that. At some point, we're hoping to have a speakeasy and a cannabis lounge and like a wellness and coffee hotel, like boutique hotel.
That's kind of like our projection. Like, we want to have the coffee shop is the ultimate goal. We have a vision for how it'll look. The first one will probably be strictly coffee, maybe some beer and wine. Next location, we want to have a speakeasy in there for specialty cocktails, and then eventually we'll have a cannabis lounge one as well.
I don't want a tequila, but I do want to have a mezcal brand.
Well, you headed in the right direction.
Maybe we can do a coffee mezcal.
Right, exactly.
What about pastries and desserts with coffee? Have you guys got into that? Or, I mean,
because you gotta have something.
You gotta have some sweet.
I know. We haven't yet, just because. So I and a lot of my family is celiac or gluten intolerant. So that's why, and also dairy intolerant, and that's a lot of the reason why, as a company, we decided to go dairy-free, gluten-free. Is because I also want to be able to enjoy my own product. Like, I know a lot of people, chefs maybe, will serve things that they're allergic to, which is great. Like, serve your customer. But I also know there's a lot of customers that have the same allergies and intolerances that I have. And I just want to enjoy it stress-free. Like, it is incredibly stressful going to a new restaurant you've never been to and having to like Google, okay, can I have this? Is this gluten-free? Like, it's really, really stressful. So for us, the reason we haven't ventured into like pastries yet is because gluten-free, dairy-free is a whole world of its own. Like, baking is hard enough, and having to do that is a lot of work. But we're trying. We have a couple of people that we have kind of like tapped to see like if they can help us. And then because we are a family business, I would love to have like my family step in and help too with the pastries, because my sister in particular loves baking, and she's been doing some test batches like gluten-free, dairy-free conchas, which I'm like all about. I haven't had a concha in so long. So
we meet like other small businesses when we do pop-ups and stuff. Pretty Little Cookies has been one we really like. They do dairy-free, gluten-free cookies as a product offering. And anytime we do get like a pastry or anything like that, we want to make sure like it fits our brand and the quality, and it's something we actually really, really like, and it's not something we're like, oh, we're selling coffee, we need a pastry. Let's, grab the first pastry you see. Like, it needs to be amazing and delicious, and we have to love it for it to be paired, hopefully, with our coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because when you think about that, I think that for him, I know because he likes some sweets.
Yes.
And so when I think about that, because anytime I go to like a coffee shop, it's always like I try to grab something like to eat as well, And so when I am in places where I'm having coffee and then can have a little something sweet.
Yes.
It just pairs just so great, right?
It just makes the full experience.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it really does. And so for you guys to be thinking about that like in the future and trying to also have that to where it's like, I want to make sure that it's also healthy so I can eat it. You know what I mean? Because I mean, he's a chef. So I don't think you're allergic to anything.
I wouldn't even eat stones on the beans. Luckily for me, I don't have any
That's why you
allergies.
pre-soak them.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Oh no,
Yeah,
you're not Mexican.
special diets and special needs and whatnot, especially in the area where you guys are at, North Park, San Diego. That's like where all the hipsters live. And I used to hate working downtown because it's like gluten free and dairy free and like, bro, just tolerate it. You're lactose intolerant, just
Let
tolerate
me
it.
tell you, I will not tolerate it because it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. It's
Yeah, I remember
stupid.
when we first started dating. I think we were like on our second or third date, and we went to like a bar and we had some bar food, and we were talking, and all of a sudden, she stops kind of like responding to me, stops laughing at my jokes, and I'm like, all right,
Right.
I guess that's that.
And you was taking it personal. Is
Yeah.
it me or what's happening
And then I started to see like the color was draining from her face and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
I was like,
bad.
hey, are you okay? Did I do something? Is everything all right?
Yeah.
And there was butter in some of the dishes that we had, and the dairy, she,
Yeah, I
get
like a
bloated
balloon.
and-
It's just nasty. It doesn't feel good.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is serious.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I'll
is.
get like the sweats at night because I'm like shivering from whatever reactions are going on. So
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That is unfortunate.
yeah, but that's why for us, like the business, I think was just a creative way of like getting out of it because it's really hard to go your entire life not having any kind of allergies or intolerances, and then all of a sudden you're an adult and you're 30 and you're like, my life is different.
I tell
Like-
people this all the time. It's like the day. It's almost like your body is like, all right, we're at the minute that you
Yes.
turn 30, and then everything breaks down from your fingernails on in.
Yes.
It just breaks on down, and I'm just like, how did you know? I remember when the day I turned 30, I was trying to get out the car. I used to have this like really low Camaro. And I was like getting out. I was like, "Oh shit, this is it.
My
Yeah.
back's cracking a
This
little
is what
bit.
everybody was talking about."
I remember
Like,
seeing the memes when you're in your 20s, like, oh, when,
having a good time.
jogging in the morning after drinking, and then after 30, like, you're in the ICU. I was like, it can't be that bad. It's that bad.
And that's how I feel with milk and gluten.
Yeah. I mean, I have as well with the like with the dairy intolerance as well, but mine is not as severe as that. Thankfully, it's not as severe. So mine is just like it'll bubble up, and I'll be like, we got to go right now. Like we cannot be here. We can't do anything else because I don't know if I can clench as long as I can. We might need to just get the fuck out of here right now. Type thing. I used to always make a joke that I had to eat ice cream on the toilet because that's the
my
only
God.
place.
Yes.
That's just how quick it like goes through. So it's not no pain or anything,
Yeah.
thankfully.
Yeah.
But at the same
thankfully
time,
now, there's
yeah.
a good amount of alternatives.
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
gosh. Back
Yes.
then, it was horrible.
Like if it was 20 years ago, rough.
Exactly.
Now there's options.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm very curious.
and talking about those options, that's why just before we started the show and everything, with non-alcoholic like beers and other drinks that are coming out now it's accommodations for everyone.
Yes.
Which is great because if you have those allergies or you can't, do things you can still enjoy with everyone else and still feel the vibe, and you don't have to, if it's a religious aspect of it, or if you've suffered with, you know, substance abuse or something, then you don't have to feel like you're left out.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you guys creating a mocktail is perfect, especially for my coffee lover over here, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I would also like feel like I would like to encourage other people to try what you're trying to do, because you were very limited in your own options, and you were like, you know what, let me just take some initiative and do it for me. And now, especially, you know, since you guys came to this country to try to, like, you know, be the best versions of yourselves, and you guys are finally doing it. You know, you guys still together, and you guys still using that dating app, or you guys deleted it, or who makes the coffee in the morning?
Crying.
He makes the coffee in the morning. I am
her personal barista.
Yeah, personal barista, personal chauffeur, all of the above.
Yeah. Isn't it the life?
It's so great.
Right?
I love this life. Delete
Oh,
all
man.
the apps.
Girl.
This is the man that I need.
Thank you.
I'm telling you.
Try my best.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Don't
so,
yell at me.
There's plenty of that. I'm Latina after all.
Right. Yeah. So when I think about just, first of all, I want to kind of dive a little bit into this logo that you guys have, because I've been attracted to the logo ever since I seen it.
Oh my God,
Thank you
cool.
so much.
Yeah, I mean, now, you know, just call me an honorary Mexican, because I just be doing everything Mexican now. And so when I saw that, and he knows that that I like skulls and stuff. And so when I saw it, I was like, damn, this is like a cool ass logo. And so, like, just who designed this for you, or how did you guys come up with that idea?
Yeah. My sister designed it for us. She is our
Graphic designer.
our graphic designer.
Branding artist.
everything.
Yeah.
She does it
designed
all for
everything.
us. So we kind of give her the general direction of where we want to go, and she does this and created our whole brand for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for us, we chose the skull. I don't know. I think it was a little bit of homage to like hipster culture.
Yeah.
But it was also because like I wanted it to feel a little bit more like androgynous, a little like kind of just, you know, bare bones. Like this is what it is. There is no pretentiousness to it. There is no like preconceived notions that come in. It's just come as you are and you'll be welcome here.
Yeah.
And I mean, we try to do that in everything that we do throughout our entire brand.
And then we
That's
have
awesome.
our little mascot on there also.
Oh, yes.
Is it like
It's our little dog, Chewbacca.
Yeah, so
He's
that
a
is actually
Chiku.
our dog.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he made it on the logo.
I tell the logo, man, I'll drink coffee till I die. That's what I associate it with, because I was drinking coffee till I
Nice.
die.
Yeah. I'm going to use that now.
Yeah, coffee's good for you. It's a diuretic drink. It helps you
definitely a
clean
diuretic.
your intestines and whatnot. And then you know, it helps you with your mood. It helps you get angry. It helps you get happy. It helps you get sad. Everything. And I found out that one of the reasons how I found out I have ADHD is because caffeine makes me sleep. And then when I told my doctor about it, and then he was like, "Oh, really? Okay, why don't you go fill out this test and this survey for me real quick?" And then boom, I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
I can drink coffee to wake up. I can drink coffee to go to sleep.
Nice.
It just gives me that comfort. That's why like I feel it's so like personal to me because it really helped me rediscover how to enjoy myself without having to go get wasted or having to go like drink until I pass out. And then definitely coffee. If you guys haven't tried it, like it's not your drink yet, definitely give it a try.
Where would you guys say that you can start? Like for people who smell it, right? And they're like, that smells nice, but I don't know where to start. Where would you recommend people start?
Look, no shame. I started on a caramel macchiato, extra caramel upside down. Like, let's be real. That's how
I started with the most
started.
sugariest one, and then I started tapering.
Yes,
Off.
exactly. Yeah. I think it wasn't until later that we started drinking black coffee. What would, I mean, I don't know, a latte?
I'm still not that. I'm not that advanced.
Yeah, did you guys see
Still
you
have
guys saw Pedro Pascal went viral because of his Starbucks order? And then it was like a ice squad espresso. I was like, that's my go-to. I'll have 4 shots of espresso. Like if you go to Starbucks after a certain hour, they're not serving a blonde roast, which by the way, blonde roast is where the most caffeine is. And they don't serve it or like, oh, just give me whatever you got and put 2 shots in it and a little bit of ice because I don't want to burn my mouth. Yeah, but I mean, definitely you build up that tolerance, that caffeine tolerance, and the more tolerant you are, the more you enjoy it. You know, that's what it is sometimes. But take it as it is, guys. Sometimes in life you're gonna have that bitter flavor in your mouth, and you gotta know how to swallow that bitterness in life, one sip at a time, one cup of coffee a day.
Lessons.
First of all, who's podcasting? Not you coming with the knowledge.
That's why I associate it with. Definitely, there's some hard pills that we have to swallow, some bitter flavors that we have to intake. Yeah. That's what they serve coffee at funerals. And now baby showers, apparently, which is a thing now.
But also, like, bitter is not a horrible thing. Like, there is, like, too much bitter for sure, but there's also a way of getting that balance. So there are some coffees that are going to be like, oh, you're going to get a little bit of bitterness, maybe some acidity, and then you'll get, like, the chocolate or something. Yeah. So, you know, kind of balances out.
And medium ones are more fruity. So you can have a black proper medium coffee and it'll be sweet. You won't have to put any dairy in it. You won't have to, or any creamer or sugar, and it'll be a natural sweetness. It's interesting. The first time you drink it, you almost think like, did I make this right? Because you're so used to that bitter taste of the coffee from the darker roast. Yeah. And then you're like, all right, let me try it again. And then you find like that nice balance. Yeah. And so you ask, where should people start? They should start
at their local coffee shop.
Yes.
Like not a Starbucks, not a Coffee Bean. Like go to your local coffee shop, your local specialty coffee, especially if they roast their own coffee or they're getting it from a local roaster. That's where you're going to get the best coffee for sure. Like, not on the shelves.
I would recommend trying like the different brews black as is. Try an espresso by itself. Try a pour over by itself. Try a cold brew by itself. And then you could kind of see how... Because it's completely different. Even though it's the same coffee, your brew method will determine your experience. How much caffeine you get, how bitter it is, how sweet it is.
You know what? I use coffee, and you know, I don't know if you're gonna believe me or not, but when I season my steaks, I sprinkle a little bit of coffee as well, and that really enhances all the flavor, and it adds a little bit of smokiness. And then I've had people asking me how do you season the steaks? How do you do it? And
coffee rub.
But a nice coffee rub with some nice condiments, that would definitely elevate your steak game. You're welcome. Yeah. But
some pork belly.
Oh, pork belly, for sure.
I'm here for that.
I personally like to also like.
We've done it on wings too.
Wings?
Chicken wings. You can put on anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
When was you making this? Because
we don't remember.
No, I always season with coffee all the steaks, and then sometimes the veggies as well, like the asparagus and whatnot. When we have steak, I always put coffee in it, but the same coffee that we have, for the house. And another thing, speaking of coffee in the house, please stop leaving the pot on the coffee thing on, because it's gonna burn your coffee. And it's gonna taste like.
Who are you talking to right now? You talking to
coffee.
Whoever forgot.
No, just in general. Like I'm in front of the camera. Like the whole world is my. Please stop doing.
Who are you talking to?
You got any stop doing for?
Stop doing. Oh
my
goodness.
You guys want to tell people stop doing this right now?
I don't know. It's just like with food. Like it's so subjective that you like what you like. I mean, like I'm not a fan of people adding like salt or sugar before they taste things. Like taste it first, at least a little bit.
Not a fan
at
of
least
that.
a little bit, because you don't know.
Yeah, I would say stop being closed off. So start being open to like newer things. You know, we habitually go back to the things we know and the things we like. Yeah. We have our routine. You know, if you've drank it a certain way, you always want to drink it that way. And you assume any other way is going to taste bad. Maybe not. If anything, it could potentially taste better. I would say people should, especially with their coffee in their home, because that is you control that.
Yeah.
You make all the decisions. You are the barista, you are the roaster, you are everybody. You decide if that roast is good, if it's sweet, if it's bitter. And it's not one and done. Experiment, play with it, and find the flavor that makes you happy and gives you the best experience.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I got my little coffee bean right here. My favorite coffee bean. Yeah.
A little pea berry.
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys
Stop it.
My bad.
Stop it.
Do you guys give coffee away to anybody that's like skeptic about it? Have you guys found anybody that's like challenging to what you guys do?
I wouldn't say skeptical, but a lot of people are, because they haven't experienced specialty coffee.
Yeah.
You know, there's great coffee roasters out there. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say we're the greatest roasters. There's amazing roasters.
Yeah.
But like people who have not had specialty coffee, who've only gotten it on the shelves at grocery stores, you know, the Folgers drinkers or the Starbucks drinkers, when they taste specialty coffee, it's almost like, wow, like, was I really drinking coffee before this?
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
It's like, welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, like when pouring like your Starbucks from Costco in the little filter and turning on your machine, and then doing a specialty coffee French press for yourself.
Yeah.
It's day and night.
Keurig, French press. I'm gonna take the French press.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely what he introduced me to. Like I said, when we first got together, he was like French press, and I'm like, dude, knock it off. Just put it in a pot and give it to me. What are you doing? You know, he's
Yeah,
like,
I had the grinder and everything. I made some coffee and then I started grinding the beans and she was like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh,
why is it taking so long?
relax.
Yes.
Yeah, and definitely it's a whole culture, right? It's not just a habit. Like I personally would like to like go to Turkey and have some Turkish coffee, go to Italy and have the real Italian espresso. How they really, because that's another whole method. For example, in Turkey, they heat up the coffee with sand, and then in Italian they just made this perfectly engineered machine where the right amount of pressure and steam comes out, and then it distills the coffee and all of that. So definitely, it's a whole another game for.
They have theirs through Lamborghini, right? Don't Lamborghini make there? Who was that car company that makes a?
Oh, I don't know if they
Espresso
do.
machine.
Oh,
Marzocco
Fiat,
does.
right?
Oh, do
Somebody,
they have
I think.
it? I didn't know they had one. Yeah, I don't know. La Marzocco is probably like one of the biggest Italian brands. They're, I mean, everywhere, but there's other ones too. But yeah, Italy, their coffee is just, it's so good. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just the best.
Yeah, and they have what, like here we have fast coffee.
Yeah.
You know, you run in there, you grab your paper cup, and you sprint out.
Yeah. That's why Starbucks is so popular, because it's convenient.
It's fast, it's quick, and it's consistent. But like in Italy or other countries in Europe and in the Middle East, it's slow coffee.
Yeah.
You know, they don't give you a paper cup. They give you a glass. They serve you sit there, you sip it, you drink it, you have a conversation, you marinate in the experience, and then you go.
Yeah. If you're in Europe drinking coffee, wait like 5 minutes to have your coffee in the store, because they will scoff at you if you ask for a paper cup, and they will know for sure you're American.
So that's a good don't.
Don't.
That's a good though.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah.
And if you order coffee in French, you want a latte, say coffee au lait.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
They say, oh my God, can I please have a latte?
Yeah, don't ask for just a latte, because they'll bring you just plain milk.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Coffee really brings out that, you know, to me, it's like, oh, I feel sophisticated and I feel, I get into my feelings and I feel like, yeah. And
We're
then
in the right place.
You know, I'm just like, I'm going to cross my leg and then have a sip of this delicious cocktail right here.
Yeah, let's get another going.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, and definitely you guys have a very nice apparel as well.
Oh, thanks.
So I was, you know, looking into the things and I was asking her to contact you guys and tell you guys need to bring me a couple of shirts, and she didn't do it, but you got me the hat, and this is a vegan suede, by the way. It has the name of the company in the bag. It's very comfortable. I feel like it's like caressing my head, definitely, because I have a sensitive scalp, and I already feel like it's really like helping me like not feel the moist. And not feel like I don't feel like scratching my head.
I wore half a dozen hats for like a week each before I picked the hat. So I wanted to make sure that it was good. There were better ones, but this one was price and quality.
Oh, nice. Is there any other okay, let's get that shaking going.
Music to my ears.
Is there any other
shaking
particular characteristics in your apparel or your products that you want to point out? We talked about the compostable bags for the coffee beans, and you also have recycled paper cups. And what else you guys got going on that is go green, go big?
We have our sweaters. All of the apparels that we do limited. So we never do anything twice. So like we make this design, and this, like, once these hats are gone, they're gone. You know, we're not going to make them again. If we make another hat, we'll do a different design, and it keeps us creative. Yeah. And it, like, you know, adds a little exclusivity to the products, and it's more fun for us instead of just having the same generic product over and over again. Oh, yes.
Yeah. We do. I mean, this is Champion. Our green sweaters that we've made before are Champion. I'm a 90s baby.
This is Fila.
Oh, this is Fila.
Yeah,
oh, that's right.
These ones sold out really quick. Our Champion ones, we still have the green ones. And then we had our t-shirts as well. Here. Which one's this one? Cupid's Arrow?
Yeah, this is Cupid's Arrow. This is the raspberry and chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah. This was our Valentine. So we made a few drinks for Valentine's, and this was the most popular one. So we pulled it out and made it part of our regular menu.
Yeah.
I like raspberry syrups in coffee because it's not super sweet.
No.
And it actually gives like a nice little flavor. My go-to drink from Starbucks before I started drinking it black was a white mocha, and I would ask for raspberry syrup.
Yum. Oh.
Yeah, I definitely, this is my thing right here, the Cupid's Arrow. Yeah, I like the raspberry.
Yeah, we have a couple different ones. We have, I think, 7 different mocktails that we created. Yeah.
7 to 10.
And we'll rotate them seasonally. I want some cold brew for me too, though.
Yeah, so there's a cold brew. So this is the cold
this
brew
is just
by
a plain
itself.
cold brew.
So you could taste it.
Emilio, get this. It's going to be ASMR.
His name is Mateo.
Oh, Mateo? Yeah. Where's Emilio? You fired Emilio?
There is no Emilio.
Oh, yeah? Where's the guy that was hanging out last time I came?
First of all, I know you're not watching my episodes because there's never been an Emilio.
Oh, no? Oh, my bad.
It's just because that Cupid's Arrow has him some kind of weight.
Yeah. He's feeling some type of way. He's in love with some other names.
Look at this. I'm really in love with the logo because
appreciate
I like
so
skulls.
much.
That makes sense.
And I'm like, you know, I like skulls and like in tattoos and everything. I'm working on having some tattooed skulls, like this theme that I have going on. And
Nice.
skulls, you know, growing up in Mexico, they're part of our culture.
They are.
Embracing death in a funny way. In terms
Embracing
like that.
it. Yeah. We just had a conversation about that. Embracing death. Yeah, even on our coffee cart when we set up, we have a couple different skulls. We have like a really nice is it like a bronze?
Yeah, we have a cast of a bronze cast of a real skull.
I need a mug.
It was made by an artist.
I need that.
I need one too.
Yeah, we have this wooden skull that we got in Mexico City at the Frida House that we really like, that we displayed
we brought
too.
that back with us. Yeah. Skulls, bones, death. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
We're all going there anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So I want to get into a little bit too, because like I said, the entire premise of our like show period is about community. So talking about like almost how you guys have got into the market of coffee, and how do you guys branch out into the community, or how have you seen the community respond to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. Man, I have to say thank you, because we were just embraced so quickly. It's astonishing to me, and the support that we've had.
Yeah, from our gym.
Yeah.
Like our gym found out, and like they invited us to do pop-ups there, and you know, it was just one more way for us to connect. Our coworkers support us. They buy the coffee, they share it with their families.
Yeah. Other small businesses that we meet. Like we've met so many like local creatives, local business owners, because everyone, I mean, there's room for all of us to win. And
That's so true.
like,
So true.
Yeah, I always say that. They're like, oh, isn't there too much competition? I'm like, no, there's not. Why can't we all win? Exactly. If we all take 1% of Starbucks' market share, we're all rolling.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Rolling
like,
in the
there's
death.
everybody can win. We all make each other better. If you feel like
Exactly.
your competition is tough, then step up your game.
Right. Or Nike would have been the only one.
I always
thought
tell
about
her.
that, right?
I always tell her like every corner there's like, especially here in San Diego, there's a Gilberto's, Heriberto's, Roberto's, and they all taco shops. They all sell the same thing. It's the same concept, but it's different names. But I always think about like more people should be doing the same thing, so the market has a choice and not just an illusion of choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we have to go to Starbucks, otherwise, we're not gonna like drink anything else. And definitely you got to be more open to other brands and other concepts as well.
Yeah.
And most likely, you're gonna find out a better option for you. And also, buy local, shop local, consume local. And
Anytime
Because that's what
we
we've been doing lately is we've been trying to do like more local anything, whether it's pizza, whether it's tacos, whether it's, we try not to go to the big brands because for one in San Diego, it's so much food here that it's, like I try to look for different things too as well because if my family comes and visit, I want to take them to those places.
Yes,
So then
absolutely.
they're going back home going, man, that freaking taco place in San Diego. You can't get it nowhere else. It's only in San Diego.
Yes.
And so like just those type of different things. So when you got like, what you guys have in Surje Coffee and you guys are here in San Diego, people can think about that when they do come and visit and one of your customers bring their family members to your place.
Yeah.
And
We
now
had
they're
that
thinking about
happen.
that.
Yeah, we love it. Like we had a community showcase that I put on specifically because I just wanted to celebrate my birthday with whoever would come. I didn't know if anyone would come. And we had one local San Diegan. She brought her entire family. She brought her mom, her dad, her brother, and we'd never met. And that was the first time I was like, oh my God, is like the greatest feeling to have someone, especially to someone to bring their family. And like, what happened to be my parents were there too. I was like, oh yeah, this is my mom and dad. And we're like exchanging stories. They're like, the dad is like telling me about how his wife doesn't cook. And I'm like, and then she's telling me that she does and she cooks really good. And I was like, okay, this is what I live for. This is what I'm doing this for.
Community involvement.
I know.
that's too much.
Right? And then you got all the women scolding the men.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a great feeling. And so like if we can continue doing that, if we can give back in ways like I have no idea how it came up, but like we went to the Naval SEAL base.
Yeah, we did a
to have
pop-up
a
for
coffee
SEAL
pop-up
Team 7.
there.
Which was really nice.
That's amazing.
They
And,
found us on Instagram and asked if we'd come out, and we said, of course. We went out and we got to serve men and women in uniform,
And it's
our coffee, It was
it's
so
such
cool.
an honor to be in those spaces and to be
Yeah.
like, you do so much for us. Like, let me do this drink, this one little tiny blip in your life.
Right.
Like, let me do it right for you.
Yeah, let me make
Right.
your cortado.
Yeah, and then like donating back like that money. So the money that we made there, we donated to a Navy SEAL foundation.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've done like pride stuff, and we donate to the San Diego LGBT Center. So I mean, things that
We did
align
an
with
event
like
out here in San Marcos, the golf tournament recently.
Oh, that's right.
donated a bunch of
Operation
coffee.
Hope. They help house and give resources to women and children who are victims of domestic abuse. And so they had a golf fundraiser that we joined, and we're set up on one of the holes, and donated all kinds of coffee to them for their swag bags.
It's fun running a business, growing a business. You want to make money, you want it to do well, and that does give you fulfillment. But when you do stuff like that, it just hits different. And like sometimes I'm like, well, we need to make money. We're a business, and then you do it, and then it's true what they say. It does come back. It really does. It's so like do nice things. help people.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, sometimes it's going to be like a little bit of a sacrifice. Like that week it was a very stressful week and we were like roasting nonstop. It was the most.
We prepared 150 bags of coffee.
Yes.
In like a couple days.
All to donate.
All to donate. And, it was a lot.
Yeah. But I mean, it was great. Like I would do it again. Why not?
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So any other questions before I get to my next?
Is there any other cocktail that we got going on?
We don't, but I have some cold brew.
We
if you
brought
want
some extra
more
cold brew
Because we knew,
you're gonna want some more coffee. So.
Yeah. No, definitely having a great time learning about your experience and your challenges and what you have overcome, and what do you look forward to and whatnot, and educating our listeners and our viewers for the coffee.
Let me find out. Paige gonna kill me when she hear you saying hours. She'll be like, don't bring no more back on the show.
I'm like it.
Right up.
Right, like
I see why you love
our
it.
listeners. What, bro? Huh?
3 hosts, maybe?
Yeah, I'll be back here. I'll be right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this next part of the show is, and I'm going to kind of mix it up for you guys just a little bit. So we always have everyone come on here and they do a drinking story. And it's filled with either a great time with alcohol, a bad time with alcohol, I fell in love with somebody with alcohol, or, just an experience that they had that they remembered that was memorable, right? So you guys, you could either do one of how coffee, it could be any kind of like coffee story, or you could do a regular alcohol, which is my favorite. Is the badder the better.
Right.
So yeah.
Do you want to go first?
No.
No.
You can go first.
All right,
I'm
I'll go
thinking
first.
of my story. I think I'm gonna do an alcohol story though.
Yeah, I'm doing an alcohol story.
Okay.
It was my 21st birthday. I had
never
been
heard this.
no, I don't think you had. I mean, I had been drinking before, so it wasn't like my first time drinking. I'm Latina. You get introduced to it at a young age. And I had a party with my friends in my apartment from college, and man, we got so turned. I don't even remember, because apparently I slept in like the bathroom and I was like hugging the toilet, and I was like, all right. And then the next morning, my mom thought it would be a great idea to like throw a bowling party for me. So I went back to back, and so I'm there and I'm like hungover, spinning and stuff. I'm like, and I'm with my family on my 21st birthday. And so what did they do? They gave me more drinks. And so it just continued for like 2 days straight. So yeah.
They said, stop being a bitch and get in here and drink these drinks.
Yeah. I was like, my aunt came over, my tia, and she was like, do you want something to drink? And I was like, yeah, I'll take water. And she's like, no, I wasn't asking about water. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Matter of fact, water isn't an option today.
I know. I'm like, I'm sorry I asked. Yeah, that was a good 21st birthday party.
Yeah, that sounds like a back-to-back day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now in my 30s, I couldn't do a back-to-back day.
Oh, no.
I gotta rest for at least a week.
Yeah.
Same.
During those music festivals, 3 days.
Oh my God, I have no idea how we did those.
Now it's like 4 hours and I'm done.
Yeah, and then I gotta drink early in the morning so I can rest for the rest of the day.
Yes, afternoon nap.
Yep. What about you, Chris?
Mine was a few years ago. I was hanging out with 2 of my best friends, Mark and Danielle. How you doing? We don't get to hang out as much, so every time the 3 of us do get together, we kind of already know it's gonna be a little more
hot mess.
It's a hot mess. So,
I've seen it.
so we were hanging out in LA. We were at the Grove. And we were just hanging out. We had food. We went to a bar. We day drank, and we were feeling good. And then we went to Hermosa Beach, and we were at the beach. We're recording some social media videos, and for whatever reason, we decided we wanted to race. So
Race what?
each other
In the sand.
in the sand.
In the sand.
So
On foot.
yeah, in the sand on
Drunk.
foot. I ran track and played football, so they wanted to like run with. I was like, oh, I don't feel like it, but okay, I'll do it. So I did like 3, 4, 5 sprints with them. Sure enough, an NFL player happened to be there, and he walks over. He goes, "Hey, can I race you?"
Oh my God.
Yes, but
And
no.
I was like, I'm so tired and drunk. I can't.
Right.
And he goes, let's do it. And I had like just enough energy to race him to. And then we did it and we laughed and it was good. And then I was so tired, I was squatting down. And then my two best friends from each side both come up behind me. And in one in each ear, they start making gagging noises.
Oh no.
And it was like a button. Like I heard the noise and out it came.
Yeah.
No.
After all that
I wasn't even mad. I was just so happy that I got to have that moment with them. You know.
Oh God, I thought you were going
know
to talk about the time you
they love me.
went to your interview here in San Diego.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
That's another alcohol story. We'll share
It was
for
with the
next
same
time.
people, ironically, too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's why I thought we were going.
Yeah. I was okay. I wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Armando, back when you used to drink, do you have any drinking stories?
Boy, I do have a whole like series of stories, but I mean,
Or any of them that you could tell?
yeah, nah, I'm good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
a coffee story?
the definitely I raced on the beach as well, drunk. I know it's hard, and especially in the sand.
Yes.
Definitely, you know, I grew up in Tijuana, so it's partying there is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy myself, really, you know, just my party days. But when I used to be in high school, I used to go party all night and then come home and then put my uniform and then go to school. And yeah, it was a while back then. And now
I gotta talk to your mama. What kind of child
yeah,
was she
she would
raising?
be like, where were you? Yeah, I would just go make it in time at like 6:45 in the morning, just the time when my mom was opening the garage, and then I would go upstairs, put the shirt, my school shirt, and then off we go. Brush my teeth. Yeah, it was wild. Definitely, I was doing so in Mexico, I was doing like this high school where you come out with like an associate or an equivalent. So I was doing business administration for the tourist sector, and in one of the semesters we got a bartending class. So definitely we were underage inside of school, making cocktails, drinking Manhattans, Cosmopolitans, and tequila sunrises, and then that's the wildest.
That's why you make
That's
my tequila
wild.
sunrises
Yeah.
so great.
And it was
You learned that you've been years of experience.
Now I'm like, how would they allow that? Like, we were 16, 17 years old, and we were making cocktails inside school at 8, 7 in the morning.
Wow.
And yeah, now I'm like, I have a substance abuse disorder now, and an associate's degree.
Yeah. Well, that's
Nice.
Wow,
that's a hell of a
That
time.
is.
Yeah. Nah, I don't ask anymore about it in my car. That's it.
You finished? You don't have
Yeah. Nah, yeah, definitely. I mean, you know how it is in
It is.
Mexico.
Yeah.
You turn 13, 14, they give you a couple beers, and then they try to find out your limit. So yeah, basically, I mean, there's cooler things to do than find out how many drinks you need. You know, I was at a bar, and then this guy was hitting on me, and then he was like, "Oh, can I buy you a drink?" And then I was like, "Nah, I'm cool." And then I was like, "Let's play a game." I mean, he was like, "Let's play a game. Let's see how many drinks you need so I can take you home with me."
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Sir, I mean, if I want to know how many drinks it's gonna take for me to go spend the night with another man. So game on, motherfucker. I'll drink the shit out of you."
I've always been
Yeah.
curious.
Anyways, hi Victor. I'm just kidding. Nah, it never happened.
Sancho.
Yeah, like I reached my limit.
Right.
Yeah, no, but definitely, I've been a great time being sober and having helping rediscover myself and growing
nice.
and
Good for
whatnot,
you.
and just making sure challenging yourself and how to learn how to live with yourself, and you don't necessarily need a drink or disinhibit yourself to release your stress. Definitely coffee is a great way to substitute alcohol or any other thing that you need.
Yeah.
Because I also used to smoke cigarettes, and when I met her, she was like, "Oh, I don't like smokers," and then I was like, "Well, I don't get it. I don't care because this is just a hit and run. You know, I got more swiping to do."
And now we're here.
That is not how that happened. I remember because when he was smoking and like we had went on the whole date. Like, we spent all day with each other. Because I picked him up for breakfast. And we literally spent the entire day with each other. And at the end of the night, we were just kind of sitting outside and he lit up a cigarette. And I was like, I don't really find smokers attractive. And my man's went, it's over.
Nice.
And then before,
You don't even remember your own break.
I really did.
Yeah, he was like,
cigarette.
that's it. And then he never smoked again.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, that's how I knew that, like, I was like, man, this man to give up smoking for me, I must be the shit. So then, it was good. So knowing that, like, for him to discover that himself in terms of, like, I have, like, an unhealthy way of drinking.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And, and I was like, well, as long as you are okay with me doing it and it doesn't trigger you in any type of way, like, I can do it outside. I don't have an unhealthy way with it. So I'm like, I can do it outside and do it another way. And he was like, no, it's fine. It's not a problem for me in that moment. So that's how we kind of found that balance. And like I said, DD.
Yeah.
I just pull up
Especially
anywhere.
with how much a 6-pack of beer costs here.
Right.
Compared to Mexico. Oh, hell no. I'm not
Import
drinking.
fees.
Yeah, no, I'm not drinking it.
Yeah. So first I want to say thank you guys so much
Oh, thank you.
for coming all the way out here.
Of course.
And
So far.
pouring us some coffee.
Yeah.
Armando, I want to thank you for being my co-host today.
Thank you.
Taking Paige's spot just for today. Taking Paige's spot. Because I need my Paige here, okay? I can't have you to my hour fans.
You want Paige or you want the whole book?
I see what you did there. But I still need Paige.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us and coming on. And you guys make great coffee. If you guys are out there in San Diego and you want some Surje Coffee, please, when they have a pop-up, and you guys let's talk about kind of bringing up where your social medias, where people can find you, what's your website, so they can kind of order some stuff.
Yes, yeah. We do have our online store, surjecoffee.com. So Surje with a J. You can order single bags, monthly subscriptions if you want. All of our merch is on there for what we have left. We're coming up with some new designs that will be out hopefully in summer.
Instagram, Surje Coffee. We announce all of our pop-ups there. We post all of our content there. We make announcements. We have our newsletter for email as well.
Yeah, you can join the newsletter on our website. And that's the best way to do it. Because if we're doing announcements in terms of like giveaways or
promotions, discounts, we always promote to the newsletter first, so you get early dibs. And then if it doesn't sell out, then we push to social media after that.
Yeah. Okay. You wanna give your social media?
No, I'm good. I'm already married, so there's no need for that. I'm taken.
Oh my God.
I want you guys to see how perfect I am. But yeah.
Wow. Perfect.
I mean, definitely just a shout out to all of you guys here doing all of this. I changed that guy's name for no reason at all. I really enjoyed myself today. It was really very special that you did this for me. You brought him in because I love coffee. And I'm very interested. I'm definitely gonna check out those subscriptions. And also if you guys want to add anything else or any,
just thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
your show is incredible. Love the vibe. I feel like I'm hanging out, in my living room with my friends.
Yeah, that's what we do here. Yeah.
I love it.
yeah.
Ooh, I do want to give one
our own
plug.
podcast together. Like,
Let's do it.
Comedians in cars drinking coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, but we gotta develop.
We'll find a way.
But yeah.
We'll make
Come
it.
up with a concept.
Yeah. I was trying to make a podcast with one of my friends, and we were gonna call it Only Foos.
Nice.
No, but
Yeah, I like that.
yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, coffee brings people together, and it's a very nice. You can make it a habit, or you can make it into your whole lifestyle, into culture, and just throw away your K cups, please. Just check out the subscription with Surje. You know, you're gonna be all trendy and just buying this local.
Yeah.
Everyone's on their
home
own coffee journey. More power to you, but yeah, if you can throw it away, it's not a bad idea.
What was the plug you wanted to put in?
Oh, I do want to put in a plug. So I'm actually working with a group of San Diego filmmakers right now that are making a feature film that's going to be shot in San Diego by San Diegans. All the actors are mostly from San Diego. The director, writer, producer, everybody is local to San Diego. And that movie's called Cade. I'm gonna be in it. I'm actually starring in it.
What?
So we shoot it. We start production in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
And it's gonna come out later this year. So Cade movie. I just wanted to throw that plug out there because they're so good too. Yes,
Nice.
Cade.
That's awesome.
I had a little bit of an acting journey myself. I still am. You're just trying to lose this weight. That's why I've been covering my belly with this.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. You know all of our call of actions that you can do, and thank you once again and this is Odd Pairing signing off.
Thanks for listening and watching Odd Pairing. So please subscribe, like, rate, and comment with your favorite drinking stories and curiosities about adult beverages. Cheers.
I'm going to happy hour. Who's driving?
Wow.